I got home from work at my usual hour. The clock just passed 6, and found my wife of 6 years, Ashley, standing in the kitchen. She was ironing a sleek black dress, something that caught me off guard. For a moment, I figured we had plans I had forgotten about, and the thought actually lifted my mood. I always enjoyed taking her out. She had a way of drawing attention wherever we went with her warm hazel eyes, curly auburn hair, and a figure kept toned through yoga. She turned heads effortlessly. I'd catch other men sneaking glances, and it always gave me a quiet sense of pride, knowing she was mine. "Hey, babe," I greeted as I loosened my tie. "What's the occasion?" Still focused on the iron, her hands moving steadily over the fabric, she replied, "You won't believe who I ran into today." There was something almost giddy in her voice. "Who?" I asked, leaning against the counter. "Jake." The name made me pause, my tie half removed. It took a second to place it. "Jake? Your high school ex-Jake." She nodded, still smoothing out the dress. "Yeah, crazy, right? After all this time, I just bumped into him at the coffee shop near my office." Jake had been a part of her life before I ever met her. She had told me about him. The high school sweetheart, the one she had been in love with, the relationship that only ended because he went to college across the country. By the time Ashley and I met at freshman orientation, she wasn't over him yet, so I settled for being her friend. It took until our sophomore year for her to finally say yes to a date, and from there, we built something real. "So what's he up to these days?" I asked, keeping my tone casual. "He's in town for work," she said lightly. "He's a sales rep now, travels a lot. Anyway, we got to talking, and we're grabbing dinner tonight to catch up." Something in my chest tightened. "Dinner? Just the two of you?" She nodded, completely at ease, her attention still on the dress. The same dress she wore when she wanted to look her best. "Dinner," I repeated, the word heavy in my mouth. "Yeah, just to reminisce," she said, finally glancing at me with a small smile. "Old high school stories, you know." I didn't return her smile. "Ash, I'm not thrilled about this. You're going out alone with an ex. It doesn't feel right. What if I want to come along?" She let out a soft sigh, setting the iron down. "Oh, Michael, it's not like that. It's not a date. I just didn't think you'd want to sit there listening to us talk about things from before we even met. You'd be bored." "Bored or not, I'm your husband," I countered. "It's not about boredom. It's about how it looks, how it feels. A married woman going out with her ex, just the two of them. It's not right. Imagine if I told you I was grabbing dinner with Lauren from college and said you couldn't come." She rolled her eyes. "I trust you because I know you love me. This is nothing, Michael. You're overreacting." "Am I?" I shot back. "You're ironing that dress, your sexy little black number. For what? If it's just old friends catching up, why not keep it casual?" Her jaw tightened. "I like looking nice when I go out. It's not a big deal. You're acting like you don't trust me." "It's not about trust," I said, my voice firm. "It's about respect. I'm not okay with this. Ashley, either I come with you or you don't go." That set her off. "You're not my dad, Michael," she snapped. "I'm a grown woman. I'm going, and you don't get to stop me." She grabbed the dress and stormed off to our bedroom, slamming the door behind her. I stood there in the ringing silence before grabbing a soda from the fridge and sitting at the table. We had always talked things through, always worked things out, but this was different. This was her drawing a line and stepping over it. Later, when she came out, she looked stunning. The dress hugged her in all the right places. Her hair swept up with the kind of effort that wasn't for a simple dinner. She paused by the table, leaned in, and pressed a soft kiss to my cheek. "We'll talk when I get back, okay?" she said gently. I wasn't in the mood for gentle. "We've talked," I said, staring at the can in my hands. "You've made it clear my feelings don't matter. Go do what you want. Just don't expect me to be fine with it." Her expression hardened. "I'm not sleeping with him. You jerk. It's dinner." She spun on her heel and walked out, the door slamming shut behind her. I went to bed early, trying to block out the thoughts swirling in my head. Where she was, what they were laughing about. Around 10, I heard her come in. She went straight to the bathroom, showered like always, then slid into bed beside me. Her skin brushed against mine as she whispered, "Hey, babe, how about some makeup sex?" I turned to face her, my voice flat, not really feeling it. "Ash, I'd just be wondering if you're thinking about him." She huffed. "What? You think I got all hot and bothered with Jake and came home to you? Did you?" I asked, keeping my tone even. "No," she stammered. "I'm saying I'm here with you because I love you. Why can't you see that?" "Because you don't see why this bothers me," I said, sitting up. "I'm your husband. My feelings used to matter to you. Now it's like Jake's back and I'm just in the way." She went quiet, eyes dropping. "You're right," she finally admitted, her voice small. "I got caught up seeing him again. I'm sorry. Can you forgive me?" She looked up at me, hazel eyes pleading. I sighed, pulling her close. "Yeah, I forgive you. That night we made love, and I thought it was over. I let it go, convinced we had moved past it. 2 weeks later, she called from work. "Hey, I've got to stay late tonight. Special project," she said. I paused, my soda halfway to my lips. "Late, huh? On a Wednesday?" "Yeah, just some deadlines," she replied, as breezy as ever. I nodded to myself. Wednesday, the day Jake supposedly came into town for work. "All right," I said. "See you later." But after I hung up, that old unease crept back in. I told myself I was being paranoid, but I needed to know, so I stopped by her office, bringing burgers as an excuse. I signed in, rode the elevator up, and knocked on the glass door. Through it, I saw her at her desk, paper spread out, looking focused. When she spotted me, she smiled, warm and genuine. "Hey, babe," she said, unlocking the door and hugging me. "What's this?" "Thought you might be hungry," I said, holding up the bag. "That's so sweet," she beamed. "Let's make it quick, though. I've got a lot to do." We ate in 15 minutes, chatting about our days. When I kissed her goodbye and left, I felt a little foolish for doubting her. Maybe that dinner with Jake had been a one-time thing. But 2 weeks later, she called again. Another late night, another Wednesday. I wanted to believe her, but I wasn't sure I could. Months later, on a Friday night, I found myself at a local steakhouse for one of those twice-a-year gatherings, Christmas in June. I wasn't particularly close with many people there, just a few familiar faces. I mingled, sipping on a soda, making small talk with spouses and coworkers. That's when I met Karen, an older woman with sharp eyes and a no-nonsense vibe. "I'm the office manager," she said, shaking my hand. "I handle the extra assignments." I smiled, keeping things light. "So you're the one keeping Ashley late, huh? Making my nights a little lonelier." She tilted her head, looking puzzled. "What do you mean?" "You know," I said casually, "those special projects she'd been staying late for a couple times a month." Karen's brow furrowed. "I haven't given Ashley any projects lately. We had a few, but those went to others. She stayed late sometimes, sure, but that's usually catch up after long lunches or errands," she said. My chest went cold. I mumbled something about mixing up names and tried to laugh it off, but my mind was racing. Long lunches, no projects. I had taken her at her word like a husband should, and now I felt like an idiot. Those Thursday nights started looking different. Maybe Jake had switch days. Maybe they knew I was checking and threw me off. Or maybe I was just paranoid. I needed proof. The next Thursday, I borrowed my buddy James's truck and parked across from her office around noon. I watched as she stepped out of the lobby, hand in hand with some guy. Tall, dark hair. Had to be Jake. They walked to the parking lot laughing. Not a care in the world. I snapped a few photos with my phone, my hands shaky. Her coworkers might not recognize me, but this was bold. They climbed into a gray sedan and drove off. I followed from a distance. A few miles out, they pulled into a cheap motel. They didn't even check in at the front desk, like this was routine. I parked far enough away and watched as he led her to her room. She kissed him at the door, deep and slow. My insides twisted, but I kept snapping photos. She still had her wedding ring on. Wonder if that made it more exciting for him. I sat there for hours, numb, but my next steps were already whirring in my mind. I called a lawyer and took a few days off work. By 2:30, she emerged, fixing her hair, her dress slightly wrinkled. I didn't need any more proof. That night, she called with the same old excuse, working late. I played along. Okay, I said. She noticed something was off. You always call when I'm late, she said when she got home, her tone playful. What's up? Got busy in the garage. I lied. Lost track of time. Hope those late nights wrap up soon. I added, yeah, she said, or I'll tell him to give it to someone else. I nodded, already knowing that next time would be the last. I had already split our savings and set things in motion. I wasn't following her again. I had everything I needed. The next Thursday, I let her call come and go, ate takeout without tasting it. Then I started packing. Just my clothes, my gear. Everything else was hers or stuff I didn't want. By 7 o'clock, I was ready. Ashley walked in at 7:25, all smiles like nothing had changed. Hey, babe, she said, setting her purse down and leaning in for a kiss. I pulled back, my face blank. We need to talk. She blinked, caught off guard. Okay, honey, let me just... Now, I said, nodding toward the kitchen table. We sat down in the same spot where we'd shared countless cups of coffee, countless laughs. She grinned like we were about to discuss paint colors. So I started, keeping my voice steady. Those late nights, how are the projects going? Great, she said, perky as ever. They're really happy with my work. Could be a promotion soon. Nice, I replied. Tell me about them. What have you been working on? Her smile faltered. Just some reports, data stuff, regional stats. She thought vague answers would be enough. But I wasn't playing along. Reports, huh? Anything else you want to tell me? She reached for my hand. Just that I love you. I pulled away. Thought I knew that too. Until I found out about you and Jake. She sighed, exasperated. Michael, not this again. I haven't seen him since that dinner months ago. Really, I slid my phone across the table. The motel photos stared up at her. Her and Jake, her fixing her hair outside that room. Her head dropped, hands trembled. Then I pushed the divorce papers over. No, Michael, please, she whispered. It was nothing, I swear. Can't we fix this? Counseling, anything? No, Ash, I said firmly. Cheating's a deal breaker. You're my wife, and you've been with him. Lied to my face. That's disrespect to me. To us. There's no coming back. Tears welled in her eyes. It wasn't about you. I love you. Seeing him just brought back old feelings. That first night was just dinner, but then he kept popping into my head. 2 weeks later, he asked me to lunch, and it happened. I won't lie. After that, it got easier, but less exciting. I was going to end it. I swear, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, too, I said, standing. I loved you, but we're done. I walked out, got in my truck, and never looked back. Months later, the divorce was final. She didn't fight it. Moved away, probably with Jake. I got a small place. Threw myself into work, landed a bonus. Still, I miss her sometimes, that spark she had. Almost a year later, she texted. In town, wanted to grab drinks. I agreed, curious. At the bar, she looked thinner, still gorgeous. Hey, I said, hugging her lightly. What's up? Thinking of moving back, she said, sipping her wine. Miss it here. Jay cool with that? I asked, no edge in my voice. We're done, she said. He was cheating on me too. Had other women on his route. Never stopped. Some husbands roughed him up. He bolted after the hospital. No clue where he is. That's rough, I said, meaning it. Karma, I guess. She gave a dry laugh. I'm job hunting. But there's one thing I need to settle. That smile, the one that used to melt me. What's that? I'm sorry, Michael. Her eyes softened. I was an idiot, chasing a ghost. We had something great. I still love you. Any chance we could try again? Before I could answer, the door swung open. A woman in a green dress strode over, dropped her bag on a chair, and kissed my cheek. "Sorry I'm late, babe," she said, grabbing the rum and coke I'd ordered her. The meeting ran long. Ashley's face fell. Some good stuff, I hope?" "Mostly," Olivia said, laughing. "He speaks well of you, except the end bit. Guess that's normal." Ashley's eyes glistened. "He's a good guy," she said thickly. "Hang on to him. Don't mess up like I did." "Oh, I will," Olivia replied, flashing her ring. That set Ashley back. She stared at it, deflating. "Congrats," she murmured. "I hoped maybe with time we could." "I get it." Olivia cut in, gentle but firm. "But I'd love to know you. You shaped him into the guy I love. Maybe friends, oh. I'm not leaving you two alone. Common sense." Ashley snorted. "Yeah, someone told me that once. Wish I'd listened." She stood. "Stay," I said, but she shook her head and left. Olivia squeezed my hand. We moved on. Months later, I proposed by a lake. Her yes lit up my world. We built a life. Trust, love, everything. Ashley faded into the past, and I let her go. Looking at Olivia now, laughing beside me, I knew sometimes the best comes after the worst. And I had everything I needed right here.